Yes, the situation in Israel, and we're seeing from one time to the other demonstrations, we've seen that the situation has become fragile. How do you read the scenarios, the next scenarios for the government of Netanyahu meantime?
I think the Israelis deserve more than a war criminal. The Israelis deserve a new blood. And the families has to attain their goals of having their young sons and daughters back home, but at the same time they should understand the calamity of the Palestinians over the past 70 years, where injustice was not only made on them by the Israelis' atrocities, but also by the silence of the international community, and to move mentally from this state of mind of hatred and destruction into a larger Sadat Rabin open space where living together can be attained, and much more stronger and much more lasting than what they are practicing now.
Yes, our diplomacy, back to our diplomacy and the role of Egypt's diplomacy, which is actually very much respected worldwide due to our balanced diplomacy and our working globally in order to achieve peace globally, all around the globe. How do you see Egypt's role, Ambassador, in creating peace around the globe? So we've seen in the Horn of Africa, Egypt is there with the peacekeeping troops, on the Gaza file, everywhere, in Lebanon.
Lebanon, yes.
In Syria, in Lebanon.
Foreign Minister.
And Sudan, of course.
Of course. Foreign Minister Ragab Abdelati was talking to his counterpart, the Lebanese foreign minister, and they discussed peace and security in Lebanon, where the two parties have agreed in the unification of arms in the hand of the legitimate authorities, which has been the governing principle of the new government and the new presidency. And I'm sure that if Israel understood that withdrawing from the 5 points of border areas where Israel has occupied will help in dismantling the logic of resisting the occupation, which is no longer the case, and Hezbollah should definitely integrate its armed forces into the Lebanese, and this is a Lebanese issue that needs, as the foreign minister said yesterday, wisdom and dialogue. And I'm sure our Lebanese brothers are able to reach common understanding. There is a geopolitical changes. Iran has given up the fear of attaining a nuclear deterrent to the wider an open space of having nuclear program without really looking into the military option. And that will happen when you also secure Iran, when you end the sanctions on the Iranian. And hopefully also that will go to Syria, where sanctions will hurt, it will not help, as well as stopping the Israelis of opening up fronts and claiming to have seven fronts. The 7 fronts are created by them, and they attack their neighbors, and time has come that we settle border issues, we settle relations between the Middle Eastern. And here comes the proposition I gave you or discussed with you in the previous question about a peace and security conference based on a similar principles of Helsinki in Europe, where the countries and nations of the Middle East can live together to the benefit of their neighborhood in Europe and to the benefit of the strategic ties with the United States.
Yes, and this also brings us to, well, so to speak, 2 days to go will be celebrating Sinai Liberation Day, and this is another victory for Egypt's diplomacy, definitely.
Absolutely, but let me also add to the value of the cultural affinity and the cultural achievement. We will introduce in this festive week of the liberation of Sinai, a new project to humanity, which is the area of Saint Catherine being developed to the attention of the three monolithic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, where God has spoken his words to Prophet Musa. And in this very beautiful area where I have worked as well, I know it very well.
The revival of the root of the Holy Family.
Absolutely. Not only the revival of the root of the Holy Family, this is another project which I participated proudly in bringing it to some close reality. But I'm talking about Saint Catherine, the area where God has spoken to Moses, the monastery, as well as the whole
area,
the valley of tranquility, and the Mount of Saint Catherine, and the city itself has been developed. It's like $1 billion Egypt has contributed to the, or maybe even $1 to $3 billion.
Those are projects for humanity.
This is not only for Egypt. This
for
is
humanity.
For those who wants to see a unique part of history, a unique part of our geography where it has no similar worldwide. This is where God spoke to his prophet, Musa.
Yes, how nice. And this is another victory culturally.
Absolutely.
Talking about Egypt's victory diplomatically as we liberated Sinai. And we had many lessons actually out of this victory.
That shows when you bring not only Sinai, but also the tiny stretch of Taba to the Egyptian integral geographical territories, is a fact that we have no other place to cherish than Sinai, and we will defend its progress and will bring it to where it belongs as one of the most important geographical attraction to the world community, not only to Egypt. And we spent years in making those projects happen. Development of Sinai is not only political talk, but it is reality. You can see the advance of many projects on Sinai, and the infrastructure enough to refer to the 7 tunnels that has been added. It was only 1, but now we have 7 tunnels leading the valley to link with Sinai, which is an Egyptian affection and love that lasted since the inception of history.
Yes, and another victory was the victory that was mainly for development, for Sinai development, and this is another victory that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi took it under his directives, how to maintain the development of Sinai throughout the years.
I think this is a challenge. Sinai should be covered by people, covered by projects, and I think we are heading to that. It has wealth, it has given Egypt a lot of its minerals, oil and tourism, and time has come that Egypt also gives Sinai what it deserves. The people in Sinai will enjoy many projects. People in the valley will engage more with the development of Sinai. It's a historical, integral part of the Egyptian landscape.
Yes, it is, and while we are preparing for celebrating also Africa Day, Ambassador.
Absolutely.
And Egypt is part of Africa, Egypt in the heart of Africa. I remember the year where Egypt has already, His Excellency chaired the African Union. This has been a very prosperous year, full of achievements.
Absolutely. 2019, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi was the President of the African Union, which we will celebrate, as you said, the Africa Day on the 25th of May.
Yes.
But I have to say that on the 2019, during our presidency, Africa has declared the Africa Trade Agreement, the Common Trade Agreement. And this is a dream of the founder fathers, One Africa, of Nasser, Lumumba, Nkrumah, Nyerere. They all dreamt of one Africa. I think we are heading towards this dream, and Egypt is a faithful partners to its African brothers in leading the way towards one Africa. We signed and we ratified the agreement. We are an important and active part of the COMESA, and we are in direct communication with all the RECs, the regional economic communities, and we will keep working with our African brothers in peace and security, in stopping the gun, in development, in achieving the goals of our African Charter 2063.
Well, we're actually anticipating a lot for Africa, and the sky is always the limit, especially that under the leadership of the President Sisi, a lot has been achieved in Egyptian-African ties and Egyptian-African relations.
Absolutely.
What are we dreaming of as we
Personally, when
yeah.
we deal with Africa, being the Assistant Minister for Africa for many years,
Yes.
I dreamt of the Egyptian fund to finance the Egyptian companies in Africa. This is a key to the success of Egyptian businesses in Africa. We should create this fund. India has one through the Exim Bank of India with $5 billion US. And I saw the success of Indian companies in Africa. I saw the Chinese with 15 billion also, and with too many financial instruments. Korea, Turkey. Time has come for Egypt to create its fund where the Egyptian companies can really resort to get finance for African Egyptian projects, being it railways, roadways, dams, and other agro also projects where Egyptian expertise can be and add value to African development.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. Always adding value, Your Excellency, Ambassador Dr. Mohamed Hegazy, former Assistant to the Foreign Minister. May all your wishes come true, all your dreams for Africa and for the world would come true. Thank you so much for coming.
It was my pleasure.
And I thank you, dear viewers, for joining us. That was Wednesday Debate, and I'm Taghrit Hussein. Many thanks for watching.